When you lose your baby, your world collapses. For years, I thought my role as a dad was to be strong, to protect everyone else, and to bury my own pain. But silence doesn't heal grief. It only hides it. And I carried that silence for 20 years. Now, if you're a dad watching this and you've just lost your baby, I know what that silence feels like. It feels heavy and it feels alone. It's the kind of pain you don't know what to do with. And you're probably telling yourself, stay strong. That's what you're supposed to do. But what if that strength is the very thing that's keeping you from healing? So here's what silent grief looks like. You may have gone back to work quickly. You probably stay busy so that you don't have to think. You tell others you're fine, even when you're really falling apart inside. You keep it together for your partner because you think that's what love looks like. And you know what? I did all of that. I threw myself into being the strong one, the supporter, the organizer, the fixer. And I thought my job was to absorb everybody else's pain, even if it meant swallowing my own. But what happens is the silence starts to live inside of you. You start to forget what it even feels like to be understood. Maybe that's where you are right now. Maybe you've been carrying this for weeks, months, or even years, quietly, privately, pretending you've moved on. But deep down, you know it's still there. That's the symptom, the silence that never really leaves. Now, if I was to describe it like a doctor would, the symptoms is silence, but the real condition underneath is isolation. You may feel that you're not being seen. Everyone around you checks on your partner, but nobody really asks how you're doing. So a natural reaction is to pull back. You try to be strong, but inside you're wondering, does anyone even remember that I've lost my child too? That's the internal battle, not just grief, but invisibility. It's not that you don't want to talk. It's that you don't know where or with whom or even how to start that conversation. And you may think, if I start talking, I might fall apart. And that's terrifying. I know. I've been there myself. Because you've been holding it together for such a long time, that breakdown may feel like failure. But here's the truth. I've learned silence doesn't protect anyone. It just buries you deeper. And the grief that's buried doesn't disappear. It waits to resurface at a later time. For me, the treatment wasn't therapy or medication or some self-help fix. It was very simple. It was communication. It was about being heard by another dad, and for that dad to say, yeah, I know that feeling too. And the moment that was said to me, everything changed for me. I want to tell you about something that really helped me. It's called the Sad Dad Club. It's a community of fathers who've lost babies, men who get it, men who don't need you to explain or justify anything. They meet online on a weekly basis, they share stories, and they simply listen. There's no spotlighting, there's no pressure, and there's no judgment. Just dads sitting in the truth of their loss together. What I love about it is that it's not about fixing anything. It's about being heard. It's about being seen. It's about being allowed to be both strong and broken at the same time. Because here's the truth. You can't carry this weight forever on your own. And you don't have to. That's what I wish someone had told me 20 years ago. So if I could give you a prescription from one grieving dad to another, it would be this: stop carrying your grief alone. If you're not ready to talk, that's okay. You can just sit there and listen. Visit the Sad Dad Club website. I'll drop the link in the description below. Read their stories, see what they do, and if it feels right for you, join them. It's not therapy, and it's not about having pity. It's about being present. And sometimes that's all we need, is to sit in the company of other fathers who understand without a single word being said. I remember the first time I sat in that space, I realized something, that my grief didn't have to be buried, and my son's memory, well, that didn't need to fade into silence, that I could carry both openly, gently, and with others who understood my situation and my grief. You know, I just want to say it took me 20 years to find that kind of space, to realize I didn't have to hide my pain to protect everyone else. My son will always be a part of me, and my grief didn't disappear, but now that it has a place to belong. And that's what I really want for you. I want you to know that your love is real for your baby, that your grief is real, and that you don't have to do this alone, and that there's a community waiting for you of dads who will simply say, "We get it." So check out the Sad Dad Club. The link is in the description. Go when you're ready. There is no pressure and there is no fixing. You're going there just to be heard.